happy Tuesday 10 at 10. I am your host, Richard Charpentier, the owner and CEO of Baking Innovation, and also a creator of hemp-based products, bakery products, using hemp to basically bring flavor, texture, and functionality to food, and going beyond what we know. So I bring the new, and again, using the past and blending it. So right here, we have a beautiful German style rye bread. And this is the mix where everybody can do it at home. And also it makes great muffins because again, you have to think outside of the box. Great blend of whole grains, non-GMO ingredients, really bringing beautiful nutrition, again, nutritious and delicious. So you can check us out at hempnc.com. So let's go to our questions for Tuesday 10 at 10, because the format is about answering questions that are sent from the bakers, answered by a baker. So without further ado, I'm using the phone, so it's saving paper, and you don't have to write it down again. So the first question, somebody would like to know the reason why for 10% limitation of allulose use in baking. Since it has 70% sweetness level of sugar, can I use 100% allulose and add some stevia to achieve the same level of sweetness as if normal sugar? Please advise. So to answer your question saying, how much allulose do you have to do and what to blend to get real sugar? Sugar is sugar, and no allulose can ever replace sugar. By bringing allulose, you're giving an impression of sweetness. So sugar has functionalities, allulose has its own functionality, so does any other ingredients like erythritol. Allulose are being used for that, but as you're moving sugar away from products, you have to understand how to rebalance around it. So hopefully I do answer your question, and we'll move to the next question. But let's say going into no sugar is more than just sweetness. It's really understanding and rebalancing it so you get the right proportion. So now to the next question. Somebody would like to know, mono and diglycerides, are they added in heavy cream or animal or vegetable origin? So I'm not quite sure of the question. And the mono and di are usually plant-based from triglycerides, but I can't confirm because I'm not the manufacturer of mono and di. And that's a question I would say it will need a little more digging, and I'm not sure whether or not it's being added in some heavy cream. It could be based on the location or where you are, where sometimes maybe you'll see heavy cream where this says mono and di as an emulsifier added, probably for preservation, shelf life, who knows. But it's a great question, and sorry I can't elaborate as much. So the next question, is there any preservative can add to make my cheesecake last for 6 months? Yes, there are things you can do to make your cheesecake last 6 months, and it's called good product development. It's starting from understanding what are you trying to achieve, understand within the 6 months what could be potentially changed within the cheesecake. Is your transportation, is this ambient? Is this refrigerated? Is this frozen? Do you use any type of packaging? If so, what material are you using, etc.? So you go through an entire process to understand what do you need to do to your product in order to make it last 6 months. It's not about add one ingredient and walk away. I have over 34 years of experience in product development, and having worked for large companies like ConAgra, making products like Slim Jims and Mary Calendar and Banquet and Kid Cuisine and Nutrisystem and Otis Spunkmeyer and Twinkies. And I've worked Pizza Hut, Burger King, McDonald's. I've worked on a lot of different products. The key to success by extended shelf life is doing the proper work. If it was that thing as easy as just plug it in and the free information and you could get everybody would be doing it. So R&D is about taking time and dedication to do it. So, but a good question regardless. And now for the last question, can you please elaborate cake flour with respect to the alveograph? Yes, alveograph is an analytical equipment for flour testing and, controlling consistency, etc., made by a French company called Chopin. They do a great work. And on the alveograph, you have a gelling index that you can be used to understand how it would be best. But I would refer to Chopin, go online and see what they would recommend. But for me, I would look at the gelling index, because once you make cake, you're adding sugar, and it's different than looking at strength that you would get from gluten. Add the curves to say, where is my strength, mixing, and tolerance, because now you're mixing a cake, you're adding eggs, you're adding a lot of fat, you're adding sugar. So it's a different concept. So you have to think of gelling and how it works. You can go online through Bakerpedia and find a lot of great information on the Chopin analytical tool. But basically, it measures the rheological properties of a flour. So whether or not it's bread or cake. So again, thank you very much for listening to Tuesday 10 at 10. And before you go, let me slice a beautiful bread just so you see how nice of a loaf it can make. And look at that. And it's still, if you can see, there's still steam coming out of the bread, and it smells terrific. So hopefully you guys will be here to try it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.